Hey, it's Richard Butler here, and I want to review a new AppSumo deal. Well, new to me. And it's one that's incredibly boring, but fantastically useful. And I give it 5 stars. I'm going to tell you straight away, I give it 5 stars. Now, why is it boring? Because it's to do with spreadsheets. And to be honest, I never even thought about an AI for spreadsheets because all the AIs are sexy. They do dictation, they do vibe coding, they do all of this. But an AI for spreadsheets, well, that is exactly what Sheets AI is all about. It's an extension that you can add to your Google Sheets, your Excel sheets, and it allows you to manipulate data. It allows you to create different applications, basically. And I bought the tier one because all I wanted to do was manipulate some data in Google Sheets. I don't need Excel, which is an add on. And I didn't need the power of content creation, audio, I think it is, graphics, video. It does lots of different things. And there's a big difference. The tier one is $39, and tier two, I think, is $149, if I recall correctly. So there's a huge jump there. Now, one of the good things, I kind of hate it, but I like it as well, is that this is BYOK, bring your own key, meaning that they don't give you any free credits. You can buy a credit add-on, but it's actually cheaper to use OpenRouter to buy your own credits and feed it in. And I have a lot of AI software that gives credits every month, but it's good because this makes the software more long-term. If you're bringing your own key, the cost of the software for the developer is less because they're not providing you the credits. I mean, if they're providing you with 500 credits every month, that's a cost to them. And if you're a lifetime deal person or customer, obviously they can make a loss on that. Now, before we go any further, lifetime deals, warning, warning, warning. Lifetime deals are deals that you pay once and you never have to pay again. They are subject to closing down. Okay, some of them do, some of them don't. I've had some great lifetime deals that are continuing after 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I bought others that have closed down. So you take a risk here if you use a lifetime deal. Okay, or if you buy a lifetime deal. So that's all of the warnings over and done with. Let's look at what you can build with this. Now, let me give you a proviso. I hate spreadsheets. I mean, I'm useless with numbers, and spreadsheets, I just don't know. And I've tried vibe coding tools. And I'm going to show you two projects. One is the to do, the other is the client session and revenue. And I've tried and I built last year, well, back in January, I built a coaching dashboard for my business. And it's very good. But the only problem is that if I want to continue to use it, I'll probably have to subscribe to the actual vibe coding system, boltnew.ai. It was one of these 1 year specials on AppSumo. If I want to download that onto my system, I don't know, I have to set things up and GitHubs and all of these things, which I don't understand. So when I saw this about spreadsheets, I thought, let's give it a go. And I asked David, the founder, who is an amazing guy, more about him later, if I could create dashboards, and he said yes. So, like any AI, you need to prompt it well. And I've learned that and I have a few tips for you. So, the first tool, which it's actually the second tool that I created, is a dashboard here that I can set up my tasks that I need to do and my goals. Okay. And it is going to track everything here. So if I go into today, it shows me what's in my backlog. For example, this Sheets software that I want to review, and I have two others that I want to review, which I probably won't get done today. The should do, I need to fix this to say what should be in the should do because it's not working at the moment. And I'll show you how we can fix that. The tasks here, I can put in the tasks, I can put in the area that they are part of and their due dates here, they're completed. And I have another little tracking area here as well. I can just move that down here. I can set up goals here and I can set up habits here of what I'm actually doing. Okay. Habits that I want to do. So how do I fix these things? Well, what I do is I go into extensions, I go to SheetXAI. I have to obviously install this. It's very, very simple. And I simply speak to the sheet. So what I'm going to say here is, let me see, where were we? We were in today. Okay. So I can just say in today, I don't see anything in should do or could do. Why? Okay. And I'll just put in today tab. Now it goes off, and I'm using the basic here because it's quite a simple task that it has to do. And depending on what you use, it will go off and it will use up credits. I mean, I used up $15 so far of credits yesterday because the next project that I'll show you was quite extensive. Okay. Now, here's the thing. It's gone into Spanish here because my browser here is set to Spanish, and it says the formula is E13, DDDD, a medium. Okay, so it's within 2 days. Must do is if the task is high, and could do is if it's low. Okay, so if I go in here and change the task of this one to low, that should go into could do, which it hasn't. Okay, so that's perfect. So let's get this fixed. Okay, but I just changed a task to low and it is not in could do. Also, please reply in English only. Okay. So now that's going to go off and it's going to see what is the actual problem here. Now, if I were to try and program this, and I'll call a program in a spreadsheet or create this in a spreadsheet, I don't think I would be able to do it. I wouldn't know how to do it. Okay. I wouldn't know where to start. Now, let's remember I had about 10 euros in my account of credits. Let me just check that in the background to see how many credits I actually had. Yeah, I have 10 euros, $10.16 in credit. So we're going to see how much all of this takes when it actually does that. Okay, here's why. The could do formula is blah, 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 due to today or earlier. The task you just changed is low, still is a future date, so it gets filtered out. The fix, okay. Sometimes it tells you what you need to do. Ah, look there, should do and could do. It's already fixed it, okay? And must do, okay? So this is really good. Today's focus, etc. So very simple. I mean, I've tried so many task managers and I've bought so many different spreadsheets, but I can gear these exactly for what I want. Now, a couple of tips. David said to me, David, the founder, he said to me, what you need to do is chat very quickly back to the AI because there's a 5-minute window where the credits are reduced. If the chat gets too big, we can go and there is an option here. Let me see. I have to find it here. There is an option that you can clear the chat because this is what happened for me. When I was creating the system that I'm going to show you next, the chat got so long that it obviously has to read all of the context here. Now, those two changes that I asked it to do have used 2 cent, which is perfect. So I'm quite happy with that. Now, here comes the really good thing that I created, or what I think is the good thing here. The client sessions and revenue. Now, David also said to me, make sure that you only have one spreadsheet open at a time because otherwise what it can actually do is it can go in and it make lots of changes. So what I want to do is I want to record all my sessions and I might have 25, 30 coaching sessions a week during peak times. So here's what I've done. I've gone in and I'm not going to show you because I have live data here, but I've gone in to my clients and I've set my clients up with a client name, how many hours I usually do with them, and then their hourly rate. And if they are corporate clients, I have to invoice them with withholding tax. And this is just a tax in Spain that companies pay. They withhold the tax and they pay it to the tax authorities, which is great. And then I have other clients, which are just private or personal clients, that they just pay me and then I pay my taxes, but I don't have to take withholding tax from them. So here each week, and you'll see all the weeks down here, each week it'll tell me how many sessions I've done here and what I have earned so far and how much tax I've actually paid for the corporate clients. Now, if I go into weekly summary, I have the total sessions here, the total hours, the gross income, net income, average rate, tax paid, the 10 hours target here. And we're going to change something here. My monthly revenue that I want to make, and I'll show you how I put that in. How many hours I've actually done and my revenue progress. And you'll see that for each week here, it gives me all of the targets, the hour progress, the weekly revenue targets, 16%, etc. Now, you'll see that I have 2 people here, or 2 hours here, but nothing has actually been added into the column. That is because I have a option here, session done or not done. Now, if I change it to not done, it goes down. So it tells me total sessions, well, it has actually gone down here. Total sessions are 2 hours. I've done 2.5 hours here. Let me just see. Let me just change this to not done. Yeah, here because it was up to 250, I think. So 127.50 should be my net income. And when I look at that, it actually says that hours progress, etc., etc., etc. So I want to make a change here. And what I want to do is I want to say on the weekly summary, it can be a little bit confusing because on the weekly summary, it's showing everything that I've done. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to say on the weekly summary tab at the top, rows 2 and 3 only show the current week's statistics, not the ongoing statistics. Why do I want to do that? Because I'll show you that I have quarterly summaries and monthly summaries as well. Now, I started off at $10.18 in credit. So we'll see how much all of this is taking. Remember, I'm using the basic here. It should use up less credit. It's quite easy what it's doing here. I can use basic, I can use auto standard, and I can use auto max. And again, using the right AI model and it automatically routes it to the right AI model is really important. I mean, if it's basic tasks, just use basic. If it's a little bit more complex, use complex here. Okay. So the first thing it does is it goes off and it thinks about those things. Now, while it's thinking, let me just go back here. Dashboard. So again, on the dashboard, this is giving me all the financials here that I want. Each week, etc. I can see the performance. So I'll replace row 3 so it shows only the current week's stats. Instead of I'll use VLOOKUP but today to dynamically pull the current row. Perfect. Now I have categories here and I have settings. And this is where I can actually put in my default hourly rate. So if I just set up a new client and I don't put in a default hourly rate, it'll come up like that. I can put in my weekly hours target, my monthly hours target, which is just a simple formula, my weekly revenue target, and then it gives you my monthly revenue target. All of that changes and it updates across all of the other ones. So here I have quarterly and it's giving me all the information here. Okay, it's giving me graphs. I asked it to put in some graphs. It's telling me how many private sessions, how many personal, how many corporate. So everything is broken down. And monthly sessions here, it will also give me the information. Now, I'm not sure whether that's working properly, so I'm going to ask it to actually just fix that in a second. Now, let's have a look. It tells me that the total sessions I've done are 46,258, which is obviously not right. And my hours progress is 150,000. So it's going to go off and it's verifying all of the formulas here as well. So it's checking everything for me. And as you can see, it's quite extensive. Now, one of the tips that David said was, he said, go and create a documentation tab. And that was created entirely by the AI. I just said, write a documentation tab and it's looking, okay, let me fix both. But I see two issues. I told the sessions, they need updating. So it's updating. It says the week of the 24th of the 8th, I've had 0 sessions and 0 hours, 0 income, etc. So, I mean, I could go into the 24th here. At the 24th, I think that's the one I want. And I'm just going to put in a sample client here, sample 2. And I'm going to say that that class was done. So when I go into weekly, it should tell me that I've done 1.5 hours, gross income, tax, 5% of my hours, etc., etc. So this is going to help me. Let me just get rid of that because I don't want that coming up. So this is going to help me immensely because the other system was good, but if something breaks and I don't have credits, I'm tied back to bolt new here. So what did we say? We said the quarterly summary was okay. The monthly summary, can you check to make sure that the monthly summary line 3 is showing the current month info only? Each month, it should only show the current month. Also check to make sure that the sessions are showing in each month from row 6 onwards. So again, that goes off. Let's have a look at how much I've actually spent credit-wise. I did say to you that on OpenRouter I had, what was it, 1018, I think? And I'm down to 1011. So I'm pretty pleased with the results here. I think the results are pretty good. This is summarizing the AI conversation, so it's reading down through it to see, and it's going to fix that. Now, you see the monthly target for revenue here as well has changed. Now, let me just pause this while it goes and reads through the sheet, and I'll come back just in 1 second. Literally, I'll come back because I'm going to go and get a drink. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Now, I'm back, and let's see what it says. Looking at the monthly summary structure, I can see 2 issues. So it tells me the issues, let me fix those, and it's writing the code. So I'm going to go and get another drink, and I'll be back again. And here we are. It's come back. Let's have a look. At 24 hours in K, pre-existing, let me verify. And it's still thinking, so I'll come back again. And hold on, I just heard a beep, beep, beep. So I'm back. It says row 3 now shows current month only. Let's have a look. Row 6 now includes all sessions. And row 2 headers updated. What would you like to do? Check the dashboard tab. So it actually does give you suggestions here. I'm going to say check the dashboard tab because it says that would be a good idea. But I also want to say, please check as sessions says a number 46235, and I see nothing in August, row 6, when it should update that. So please check to make sure everything is working. Also column I shows 60,000%. This is wrong. Now, what I can do, which is quite clever, is I can send that up and it says one message is queued. So it queues up that message for me and it shows me that. Now, let's have a look. And I'm down to, so far doing all of this, I've used about 10 cents. Not bad, not bad. And I'll be back when this is done. Now, by the looks of it, it has done the first part. Issue to monthly performance bar, uses wrong columns, or maybe not. Okay, the dashboard looks good. All the weekly, monthly, and quarterly data sections. Top summary row. So it says the dashboard is working. And I'm going to say to it, no, it's not. Okay, let me investigate both issues. And the icon formatting also. Total sessions. So there's a couple of more errors. So I'm going to get everything fixed up and then I'll come back to you. So finally, I think everything is working. As I went through different steps, SheetXAI found different problems. So I think everything is now running. So you'll see I have my sessions, my weekly summary, which pulls in the current week, my dashboard, which is telling me the year to date, is telling me the current week, how much I'm on target or not. I have my category breakdown, which I won't show you because I have live clients in there. I have my settings, which I can change, my quarterly summary telling me how many hours I have booked in, but not necessarily paid, because these are the ones that have been paid in this theory. I have my monthly summary. In August, 4 sessions. It tells me 4.5 hours. I've only made 150 because some of those sessions haven't been marked as done. And then it gives me the tax, the net income, the gross income, hours. That monthly summary seems to be wrong, so I need to just go back on that, the revenue target, etc. So overall, SheetsXAI.com has a lot going for it. It takes a little bit of time to get used to it. I think in total I have $9.84. I told you it was at 18, so 84.94. So I've used under $1 to do all of these changes. And in total, this spreadsheet has cost me $16 to make, which is not bad, plus the $39 of the actual system. So for me, this is the tool that you need. Any questions, let me know. And I would really appreciate if you use my link, which is in the description, to pick this up. I'll talk to you in the next video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, all of those wonderful things, and I'll talk to you very soon.